Tonight, the Blackhawks on the road in beautiful downtown Winnipeg, Manitoba, where they take on the Winnipeg Jets for the final regular season meeting this year. And the Hawks, does this game mean a little bit, really, to both teams? Check this out, the jumbled up Western Conference. The Blackhawks having lost 3 out of 4 games, now in a wild card type of scenario. And for the Jets, they could pull to within 2 points of the Hawks with the win. If the Hawks look ahead, they're trying to catch Minnesota. They do have 2 games in hand. They don't mean anything unless they win them. But look at the middle column. Hawks have to beat the Wild on points because the tiebreaker in the middle column belongs to the Wild. Welcome in, everybody. Pat Foley, Eddie Olczyk. Glad you're with us for Chicago Blackhawks hockey. You've talked for a while about the Chicago offense and some of the struggles that have been happening of late and the need for more guys than just Hossa and Toews to try to carry things. Get some contributions from a few other guys now, like Andrew Shaw.
Yeah, and I think Andrew Shaw has played very well, Pat, as of late. He's got 3 goals in his last 3 games. He didn't have a point or a goal the other night against the Columbus Blue Jackets, but I think we would agree, partners, that he was the best player for the Blackhawks. He competed. He went to the front of the net. He drew a couple of penalties. He did everything in his power to get the Blackhawks a win the other night, which they did not. So I think there's some other players inside that locker room should take some of that DNA from a guy like Andrew Shaw. One last thing, Pat. You can't worry about the end goal. You want to win this game, but I think right now for a team that is very fragile, especially on the offensive side of the puck, is let's win the first period. That's all you worry about. Don't worry about the second. Don't worry about the third. Is win the first period.
All right, the Blackhawks take on a team that's on as good a roll as they've been on all season long. The Jets have gone 6-1. They've scored 22 goals in those 7 games. But let's talk a little bit about the back end because they got a couple of guys back there. That's 13-footed D-man right there.
Well, there's Big Buff, Dustin Byfuglien, 6'5" and 260+ pounds of Big Buff, and Tyler Myers coming from the Buffalo Sabres, 6'8". Not only the physical presence on the back end, these guys are split up, thankfully, for guys that would play against them, Pat. But I think you got to really be aware of the offensive ability of both of those guys. This team is playing with a lot of traction. It's playing with a lot of confidence. So the work for the Blackhawk wingers in their own zone is going to be huge. You have to be aware of where guys like that are on the ice because that could be the difference between winning and losing this game.
The Winnipeg Jets are a big team. They're a physical team. They're a fast team. And they provide a formidable opponent tonight. Maybe good news for the Hawks. The home team has never won a game yet in the regular season series. That's an overtime GWG for Brandon Saad. Set up by Patrick Kane the last time the Hawks were here. Back in a moment. This usually is one of the more energetic arenas in the league. Not a big seating capacity here, the smallest in the NHL, but they are lively here in Winnipeg. Blackhawks hockey in high definition coming to you tonight through Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Take a look at the goaltending matchup. Corey Crawford, who was pulled for the 3rd time this year in his last appearance the other night, but this will be his 5th consecutive start. And in the last 4 starts that he's had, 3 times he's given up 4 goals. So he's looking to regain his form here against a team that's been doing very well offensively. And there is Andrei Pavelec, who is on the best roll he's had all season long. He's had 6 straight wins and only 7 goals against total in 6 appearances. He has been brilliant. For the Jets, Tom Kowal, Brad Meyer, the referees, Don Henderson, Brad Lazarewicz, the linesman, as we get it underway here in Winnipeg. Tyler Myers able to easily escape a forecheck of Versteeg, and the puck is cleared to center ice. Picked up now by Roosevelt, returning to the Hawk lineup after not playing against Columbus the other night. Roosevelt paired up with Keith to start, and Duncan Keith has control. Coming off a really subpar game for the Hawks, former Norris Trophy winner. He tries a long shot here, well wide. Versteeg got to it, pushed it down low. Now the Jets' Wheeler will drop it back. Enstrom he took a good look along the boards, realized he better come this way, and the Jets easily escaped the zone because Enstrom made a good read. And now Roosevelt will let the Hawks complete a player change. Johnny Oduya sending Sharp up the right wing boards. The chip and chase, he's going to get there. Sharp and Party get together, and now the puck loose to Tulosti. Able to clear it to center ice. There's the big boy, Byfuglien. I guess I better identify which big boy I'm talking about when I say big boy hockey. Winnipeg D. Buffalo 6'5", and Tyler Myers 6'6". Wow. I've always looked at this guy, Eddie, and of course he started his career with the Blackhawks, one of the most intriguing prospects and now established NHLers in the game. Put him up front, he won't hurt you. Put him back on D, he usually won't hurt you.
Yeah, he's really done a good job of becoming a better defensive defenseman over the last couple of years. And when the Jets have had a healthy decor, and there hasn't been a lot this year, Big Buff has gone up and played the forward position. So to be able to, and of course Blackhawk fans certainly know the impact that Dustin Byfuglien had with the Hawks winning their Stanley Cup back in 2010. The ability to be able to play up front and go to the front of the net and cause a little bit of havoc.
And you Hawks fans also very well aware that, as we said, if he's up front, he doesn't hurt you, and if he's on the back end, he usually doesn't hurt you. But if he hits you, he hurts you. Here's Byfuglien's pass off a leg, deflecting to the corner. Frolik and Seabrook got together there. And here's Kimmo Timonen in his 12th game as a Blackhawk. Took a big hit, cleared it out to center after it hit the official. Bickell gets in, and the give and go didn't work out. Now Hjalmarsson. And then Oduya looks towards Bickell, who will hack it forward. Hawks looking to change as the Jets retrieve.
That was a missed opportunity there. Pat Timonen took the big hit from Lowry, as you mentioned, to create that 3-on-2 and errant pass, and got nothing for it.
Well, Teravainen had a blowout as the pass approached him, so this is going to be icing Chicago.
Well, fans, don't miss your chance to catch all the exciting Blackhawks action from in between the player benches. Bid on the CME Group seats through the online CME Group seats auction. For more info, visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com.
You mentioned the Jets have been on a real good roll with 22 goals in their last 7 games. And they're doing all that without their top center. Brian Little's been hurt for the last 10. And here's Halachuk looking to center, picked off Desjardins. Andrew Desjardins, who in 6 games as the Blackhawk is credited with 18 hits. A keep here by Perreault. In behind Halachuk. Centered a shot. Big save by Crawford on Thorburn. Chris Thorburn had him point blank, and Crawford with a left pad. Well, a skirmish right in front of the bench area.
Oh, a bit of a head slap there from Byfuglien on Desjardins. But what an incredible play from below the goal line to Thorburn, and a big-time stop there from Crawford.
Wheeler dumping it in. Stafford could not pick it up on the boards. Hossa lost it. There's Drew Stafford. Looking to center, ran it through his legs, went off the skate of Taves. And then Keith able to get it back. Taves looks towards Hossa, but it didn't connect. And now Stafford dropped it back into his own end. Here's Myers to Stafford, former Buffalo teammates, now playing together in Winnipeg. And what a, to my mind, a brilliant trade executed by the great GM here, Kevin Cheveldayoff. Bringing 2 high-quality components to his team. And part of that trade going the other way was the guy who's not going to play the rest of the year. Evander Kane would become more than a little of a distraction here in Winnipeg. And with shoulder surgery, won't play, as we said, the rest of the year. Now Stewart starts the Jets away. Trouba's pass picked off Vermette. He lost his stick, though, and of course the puck finds him when he's got no cue. Now Stewart will dump it. Oduya fired a long pass, missing Sharp. Going to get a shot on goal from 200 feet away.
Real key in this game, Pat, will be the Blackhawks defenseman ability to move that puck quickly, not allow the Jets to get in on a forecheck, because you know they want to get on the body. Just like that. Just get the puck and advance it straight ahead. Give your forwards a chance. Doesn't have to be tape to tape, as long as you just get it to an area.
Slater chasing in. Oduya helped by Shaw. Andrew Shaw back at center tonight after being a winger the last several outings. Here's Saad with a dump in. Bickell arrives. Party greets him rudely on the boards. Now there's a hand pass, bringing on a whistle.
Well, Corey Crawford makes a real good stopper. We're going to take a look from our BMO Harris Bank telestrator. There's Chris Thorburn. And the puck is going to end up coming from below the goal line out to Thorburn, and a left pad save and a beauty by Corey Crawford. In tight. Halishuk takes a look. Quick little lift of the stick here there by Matthew Perreault, Pat. Maybe we get another look at that. He actually lifted up the stick of Hjalmarsson as Hjalmarsson was going to try to deny the pass from Halishuk out. And once Perreault lifted up the stick, Hjalmarsson really was in no man's land there, and Thorburn got a real good quality chance.
Now the Jets, Byfuglien put it on the stick of Perreault, then got it back. Hardy hit hard by Desjardins. Now Perreault. Here's a turnover to Kruger, but his shot went off a leg and all the way out. Seabrook's long pass tipped in there. Byfuglien able to get away from Kruger, and here comes the big Winnipeg D-man. Perreault against Oduya. It's cleared around to Hjalmarsson. Able to backhand to center. Wheeler in against Oduya this time. Now Taves with some support, able to pick up the puck, turned it over, and Scheifele had a blowout. As the puck found him, it's held in. Myers a quick shot. Crawford saw it all the way. Stafford the rebound. Drew Stafford looks to center. That hit a skate, then Scheifele will roll it back to the line. Enstrom down low. Wheeler couldn't corral it on the end boards. Blake Wheeler chipped it back to Tobias Enstrom. Wheeler goes across the ice. Here's a shot. Deflect. Good stick. Oduya, who tipped the bid up high. And the Jets have to regroup. Duncan Keith looking ahead, side, Vermette lost it. Hawks able to finally get it out of their end. Now Sharp. Keith had some pressure, cleared it up the board. That's going to be a steal. Here's Trouba, the shot, goal post. Jacob Trouba drew iron near side. Centering pass tipped through to Keith. And now Roosevelt. This pass could have been picked off. Good work there by Richards to lift the stick of Stewart that was going to steal that pass. And now the Jets move right back. Frolik, a bouncing puck. Couldn't get rid of it under tight checking, and Hawks clear it out of there. Myers going rink wide. Here's Clousty. In on Roosevelt with a shot. Shoulder save, Crawford. Rebound came back to Enstrom. Now Slater and Bickle get together. And it's a shot back in Winnipeg ice.
Hawks have to manage the puck a little bit better, Pat, in their own zone. We got no play, just get it off the glass, get it into the middle of the ice. The Jets got some jumping, get on a forecheck.
Talusti, checked by Seabrook. Erie Talusti looking for help from the corner. It's held in Party. Now side, absorbs contact, and it's lifted by Seabrook back to center.
That's the type of play you're looking at and looking for. Because the Jets, when they forecheck, there's not just one guy there, Pat. There's a couple of guys within that puck being shot in, so you have to know what you're where and what your outlets are.
Hjalmarsson's bank pass. Kruger checked by Party right away. Now Oduya will dump it in. Byfuglien pushed it up the boards. Perreault is checked. Kruger got turned around, and the Byfuglien able to hoist it back to center. Teuvo Teravainen able to Duncan Keith, whose pass deflecting at center. Roosevelt again to Keith. Then Versteeg, a touch pass finding Taves. The Winnipeg native Jonathan Taves dumped it. Wheeler retrieved it. And back pressure from Hossa, nearly forced a turnover. But good support there from the home side. And now Scheifele And his pass deflect. Versteeg in the last 12 games. No goals, 2 assists. Versteeg, he got this to the front. Hossa couldn't direct a shot. Now hangs on. Lets it go. It's off a skate. And the Jets able to clear.
Good keep in there from Versteeg. Keep that play alive. Simple. Just get it to the net. And Taves battling in front of the net with Enstrom.
Now a jet steal. Lowry rolled it to Ladd. His wrist shot into the glove of Crawford. We have gone halfway through the first period. The Hawks at the moment not credited with a shot on goal yet.
From our BMO Harris Bank teleshirt. Go back to that play. Watch what ends up happening in front of the net. Now, Nicholas Hjalmarsson's going to go try and put his stick in a position to be able to block this pass, but watch the right side of your screen by that arrow. Watch what ends up happening. Matthew Perreault does what? He lifts up the stick of Hjalmarsson, so that allows the passing lane to come out to Chris Thorburn and creates a great chance. That's a play there by Perreault on allowing that seam to open up.
Great pickup by the best analysts in hockey. Another great crew we have here in Winnipeg. Hey, a couple of quick birthday shout-outs. Want to say happy birthday to Lefteri Papageorgiou, who is 5 years old, or was 5 years old last week. A huge Eddie Olczyk fan. So happy birthday, and a belated happy birthday to a good friend, Ron Reamer, who celebrated a birthday a little while back out in Scottsdale, Arizona, a member of Desert Forest, and terrific guy. Seabrook has checked here in the offensive end. And Buckland looks towards Slater. He's checked by Desjardins. Well, the Jets keep possession. Jim Slater ahead to Yuri Tlusty, who goes wide. Tied to center. Came in front. Oh, tipped wide. Stempniak. What a pass by Slater. A brilliant backhand pass gave Stempniak an open net, and he didn't finish it. Now a loose puck to the Jets, and out they come. Here comes Andrew Ladd, their captain. And they have to drop it to Lowry, who will dump. Keith challenged by Ladd. And Frolik got in there. Here's Ladd out of the corner. Frolik with a wrist shot. Hit a leg in front. It's loose. Frolik got it back. Couldn't pull the trigger. Frolik centered one. Ladd. That saved a tough chance against. As the Hawks D-men manage to limit the opportunity for the Winnipeg captain. This will be offside, but the Hawks able to get control of it, and Andrew Shaw into the zone. Ladd, or I should say Saad, sorry, and Saad put it in behind. Here's Trouba for Winnipeg, and they're able to clear it to center. A steal. Bickle cuts in, shooting, save Pavlik, and he's able to hang on. 8 minutes remaining in a scoreless first. Hawks outshot 5-2 so far.
Well, Hawk fans, don't forget to visit the WGN Sports Game Zone, powered by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. That's for Jeff Vita. Go to WGNTV.com and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone. Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Go back to that chance, Pat, for the Winnipeg Jets. Slater with a backhand pass over to Lee Stempniak, and just not strong enough on the bottom hand. The right hand is opened up. That's where you got to turn your hand over and put a little bit more strength in the bottom hand, and that blade will straighten right out. And luckily for the Blackhawks, that puck missed the wide open net.
Now Versteeg. Hjalmarsson tried to join the play, but he was covered right away, and the Jets the other way. Stafford with a dump in. Taves looking towards Versteeg. He's pinched on, and a steal Myers. Now Hjalmarsson up the boards for Hossa, who's able to hack it to center. Enstrom will turn him right back around. That's going to be an offside play, however, and the whistle goes. Well, Marian Hossa, in the last 5 games, no goals, 1 assist. He had been on a real nice roll for a while. But now of late, the production getting a little bit more difficult for the big guy. But, coming down the stretch, I mean, we talk about the need for some help for guys like Hossa and Taves. Eddie and the Hawks offense, really in the last several weeks, has been a struggle to produce. The race here for icing won by Buffalo. In the last 18 games the Hawks have played, there have been only 5 where they scored a 3rd goal or more. 13 out of 18, 2 goals or less.
Right.
That makes your goaltending and your team defense imperative.
Right. And one of those games was that game in Carolina when Shaw hit the empty net, Pat.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Oh, no, I didn't count that.
Okay.
Empty netters don't count in my world, okay?
They do for the agent, I know that.
Oh, yeah. He was an end-to-end rush. All right, now Seabrook. Shot it out of there. Brent Seabrook coming off a game where a lot of his teammates struggled, but he wound up -4 against Columbus the other night.
A tough night here to start for Kimmo Timonen. He can really having a tough time handling the speed of the Jets.
Tlusty. Slater back to Tlusty. Spins it out, Party. Bufflin. Tlusty. Great possession time here for the Jets in the offensive end. Haven't been able to get the puck to the net, however. Party will try, and tip. Good save by Crawford on a redirect. Now Slater. Great 4th line shift here for the Winnipeg Jets. Hawks can't get out of their own end. Tlusty. Poke check Timonen. Now Stempniak to Tlusty. Lost it, Bickle. They'll push it back the other way, and the Hawks in need of a change. A bouncing puck goes up over the boards into the Chicago bench. Well, the game is scoreless in part because Corey Crawford has had to be perfect, and that was a shot that hit, I believe, a Chicago stick. Change direction. Pro was equal to it.
Well, it's time to see who is going places. Brought to you by Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. And there's my great Hall of Fame partner mentioned a little bit earlier. The big trade by the Winnipeg Jets and the Buffalo Sabres, bringing in a couple of new faces. Drew Stafford up front and Tyler Myers on the back end.
Since that trade, the Jets have gone 11-6-2, but as those two guys have gotten more familiar with their new surroundings and teammates, who's going to be icing Chicago. The Jets, as we mentioned of late, on as good a roll as they've been all year long, winning 6 of their last 7 games for Paul Maurice, who, between he and Joel Quenneville, 1,200, they're getting close to 1,300 wins between them. Well, quite a coaching matchup here tonight. Off the draw, shot attempt by Halachuk went through the blue paint. Teravainen chipped it in. Kruger got to it, and Trouba got to him. Now a takeaway, Teravainen across to Keith. Here's a long blast, deflecting wide. And Kruger to Rosabal. No lane there. Kruger centered just out of the reach of Teravainen, who was cutting up the middle. Rosabal's long, but never got to the net. And it's cleared to center.
Good shift. Good play by Teravainen a couple of times, Pat, through the middle of the ice to start the whole play, and then made a nice play to get the puck to Duncan Keith in the offensive zone. So a good shift for the 4th line there with Kruger, Desjardins, and Teravainen.
Sharp got away from a check, cuts in, waits. Oh, he usually would pull the trigger there, was looking to dish, and then nothing happened. Here's Vermette in behind. Spins it out to Seabrook. Oduya for Vermette, who tried to kick to the stick, but it's knocked away from him. And Ladd. A check by Seabrook.
Little different defensive pairing here, Pat, with Seabrook and Oduya.
Well, I think you mentioned it. I don't think it's going to take Coach Q and Mike Kitchen too long to recognize what you and I have seen from upstairs. The speed and size of the Winnipeg Jets causing problems for Kimmo Timonen. We'll see how much he's on the ice here as the game goes along. We're down to 4 minutes remaining here in the first period, and the Chicago Blackhawks have been credited with 2 shots on goal the first 16 minutes. The Jets have been held to 6, so that's not a huge number for them either. But certainly positional play has been pretty good percentage of it down to our left here in the opening frame.
Yeah, you picked it up. Last opportunity for Patrick Sharp, just thinking a little bit too much there instead of just letting it go and maybe creating a second chance opportunity. And once he waited and hesitated, it was just too late.
Here's Myers putting it out to center. Pass missing Scheifele, and here's Versteeg, a bouncing puck. Enstrom able to stay with him and prevent a chance. Drew Stafford took contact from Toews. Now they work the boards. It's back to Seabrook. His long clip shot. Oh, a redirect. That didn't miss the crossbar very much. Timonen's back out there. Put it to Versteeg. Checked by Enstrom. And now Chris Versteeg centered. Oh, a tip just before reaching the blade of Toews. So the Hawks regroup. Timonen steps into the zone. Waits, centered it. It's just out of the reach of Hossa, moving up the middle. Bickle, a good hit. Steals Shaw. Poke check Byfuglien. Good play by the big D-man to prevent what could have been a decent chance for Shaw.
2 hits by Bickle in a matter of about 6 seconds there.
Now Bickle's got the puck. Bickle slipped it in front. That hit a leg deflecting wide. Ryan Bickle's last 2 games credited with 6 hits. Here's a long shot. And a redirect stopped nicely by Pavlik. Byfuglien lost it. Now getting it back, looking towards Clousty, who's able to hack to center.
A couple of good shifts here in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
A nice move by Saad with a backhander blocked by Slater. Penalty coming up here. So the first power play of the game is going to happen. Byfuglien kind of towering over one of the Hawk forwards.
Yeah, I think that's Shaw down there. Actually give him a little bit of a slap too when he was down, and then Desjardins come in there to come to the aid of Andrew Shaw. That's the 3rd drawn penalty by Andrew Shaw in the last 4 periods for the Blackhawks. After a good shift, Shaw draws a penalty.
Well, this not unusual for the Winnipeg Jets. This is the 292nd time they'll be shorthanded this year. That's more than anybody in the league. And if you want to compare the 2 sides, they've been shorthanded more than 100 times more than the Hawks have been shorthanded so far this season. So not unfamiliar with the PK scenario, and they're decent at it. But beyond that, they will challenge you offensively. They scored 9 shorthanded goals as a team, tied for first in the league. All right, here's Hossa to the corner. Able to avoid a Stewart hit. It's dropped back to Keith. Tees up along glass. That's blocked. Good work by Halischuk to get, or I should say Slater, to get in the way. Hawks power play nothing out of 5 the other night against Columbus. 5 of the last 23 have been converted. A keep side for Keith. Then Toews. Shaw front of the net. Toews shooting, and a save by Pavlik. Rebound came to the boards, and a diving Keith able to keep it in. Finding Saad, shooting. It hit a body, then came in front of Shaw. Andrew Shaw, who the initial shot hit, found the puck right at his feet, able to stuff it home. The Hawks power play has given the visitors the lead.
What a keep in by Duncan Keith. Kept the play alive, and from our Honda goal replay, the hustle by Keith. Brandon Saad fires this puck, goes off of Andrew Shaw, and all in one motion just turns around and puts it in behind Pavlik. And Andrew Shaw come off one of his better games of the season the other night. Didn't get on a scoreboard, but certainly was effective and was the best player for the Blackhawks and in front of the net. Sometimes it hurts, and you're rewarded. So a huge power play goal, the first goal of the game for the visitors.
Well, I mean, Eddie, you pointed it out, and poetic justice, the guy that drew the penalty gets the goal. And so was that 3 or 4 penalties he's drawn now in the last
I think
couple of periods?
3 in the last 4 periods.
So of late, as Eddie pointed out, I don't think there'd be a big argument about the Hawks' best player the other night. And he gets credit for that without getting a point. But he was doing the things that Shaw does when he's at his best, which is creating havoc in the offensive zone and drawing the ire of his opponent. Hjalmarsson's long one sticked away, Pavelec. And the rebound to Scheifele. Final minute now of the first period. That's an offside play with a good Hjalmarsson stick at the blue line.
Well, get the app and join Club Blackhawks right now. A new safe space for young fans to connect with the Blackhawks. Build your fantasy team, play Blackhawks trivia, and earn badges. Visit clubblackhawks.com to learn more and download today.
Now the draw. Byfuglien. Party. Able to bank it to center. Versteeg's pass came back to him. Oh, it's taken by Vermette. He got run over by that was Teravainen. Sorry, run over by Byfuglien. Here come the Jets the other way. Lowry, a wrist shot deflected by Roosevelt up high. Keep by Froley, but his pass missed. And now the Hawks are able to clear their zone. And that's going to finish the opening period. Well, Eddie, the first 10 or 12 minutes seemed to be all Jets positionally, but once Coach Q's team got their legs going, they had a good finish to the frame.
Yeah, the fourth line really, I thought, was the key, Pat, to give the Hawks a little bit of confidence and spend a little bit more time in the offensive zone.
7 Chicago shots, 6 Winnipeg shots. Andrew Shaw on the power play. The only goal of the game for the visitors, who lead at the end of 1. You guys should have seen the parade yesterday. The welcome back Eddie Olczyk parade. It was really, it was something.
Yeah, one float. That was over at A&W for that root beer one over there. And this second period of Blackhawks hockey is brought to you by MB Financial Bank. MB means business. Did get a free dinner though last night, so that was nice.
Are you telling us that because that's something new? What do you mean?
Yes, that is very new.
Andrew Shaw with 4 goals his last 4 games, 14 for the year. Coach Q, some of his comments the other day, Eddie, you said virtually the same thing when we started our broadcast tonight. For his team, and you used the word fragile, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Look at the small picture. Don't look at big picture.
Yeah.
And Q was talking about, he boiled it down, win a shift.
That's it.
He didn't even talk about a period.
Yeah.
Well, Hawks able to win the opening frame tonight. Here we go with the second. Hossa coming out. Taves for the net. Hossa trying to get the puck there, but it's off the leg and out of play. We mentioned the Jets. Have had their way with the Hawks. They've taken 7 points out of 8 in this regular season series. But the Hawks have not played against this guy yet. Every game up till now has been played by Michael Hutchinson, who's been great against the Blackhawks. But look at Pavelec's career numbers against Chicago, not good at all. But Pavelec has been playing so well for so long here for Paul Maurice. He gets the call tonight. But this is his first game this season against the Blackhawks. Wheeler, good stick there by Oduya at the line. Versteeg looks to spring Hossa, but pass is picked off. Wheeler the other way. Blake Wheeler trying to pull his way to the middle, but Hjalmarsson able to prevent that. This will be a hand pass, and the Jets touch it, and that happens. So the whistle. Paul Maurice's team on a nice roll at home. They've won their last 4 games, and they've only lost 2 out of the last 16 in this rink. But in a real dogfight, trying to hang into the Western Conference playoff race, both they and the Blackhawks at the moment in a wild card scenario. And in other NHL action today, is this going to be a penalty? They covered the puck up. Yes, it is. So it looks like the Blackhawks might go back to the power play again. Oh, you just can't do it. You can't put your hand over the puck at any time. And Stewart did it. So the Hawks back to the power play.
Well, it's going to be on Mark Stewart, and Patrick Sharp in on the forecheck. And an opportunity, a huge opportunity early in the second period on the power play.
Now the draw. Taves won it. Keith's got it. Hossa with Shaw in front of the net. There's Taves down low. Keith. Taves to the middle. Snapped it off. Hit the side of it. Rebound. Pavlik. Oh, a scrambling save by Andre Pavlik on Marian Hossa.
Remember this stop. Nice interchange. Keith, Taves, chance. Hossa goes with one stick, one hand on his stick. Watch him pull it from his backhand to his forehand. And watch Pavlik. Dives right back. Hossa just not able to elevate that puck up and over the glove of the Winnipeg Jet netminder.
Jets get this draw. Frolik tapped it deep. And now Keith leads the Hawks away. Taves back to the D-man with a dump in. Jacob Trouba pushed it down low. Party trying to shield it. Shaw stole it. Andrew Shaw dropped it at Keith. Under pressure, did well to keep it in. Then Frolik knocked it away from Hossa.
Good recognition there from the former Blackhawk forward, Michael Frolik. Rolling puck, pressure, opportunity to take away options and cleared the zone.
Just under a minute for the Hawks man advantage. Having difficulty advancing the puck here, and good work from Wheeler. Now Versteeg takes it back. Richards. Now we'll move ahead. Teravainen pressured by Myers. That's an offside play. Well, I mentioned earlier the other action around the NHL in a game of particular interest to the Winnipeg Jets and the Blackhawks. Calgary won today. The Gander Mountain playoff standing shows us that the Calgary Flames now back in the 3rd spot in the Pacific Division. Well, they've it's going to go to the last minute of the last game.
Got that right.
Yeah, that's the way it sounds. That looks. Richards chipped it in. Enstrom. Good keep Sharp. His pass picked off. Lowry, there they go. Here's a chance. Stepniak. Saved by Crawford. And the rebound taken back by Teravainen. Put it in front. Oh, Versteeg could have had a bid. Couldn't hold the pass. It was not in his wheelhouse. Here's Stewart a whack. And a save by Crawford. Penalty over to the Jets. So both teams are at full strength. Scheifele. Hit hard by Hjalmarsson. He crushed him. And now they're going to come after him. Thorburn, or I should say Stafford, came at Hjalmarsson, who delivered what appeared to be a good, clean hit. on the kid Scheifele.
The only thing that I could say, Pat, was it looked like his stick was up, and it was the trailing referee that made the call. That's the only thing that I saw from outside. Scheifele's there, and the stick is up, but I don't think it ever makes any contact with Scheifele. It looks like it's all shoulder on shoulder, and it's just the follow through.
I believe the call is elbowing Eddie.
Wow, that's not an elbow. It's the follow through, yes, but not. I don't think he made contact. Elbow to Scheifele, but after a real strong penalty kill by the Jets, they get an opportunity for their first power play.
And they've scored 5 in their last 7 games. Here's Byfuglien. They get Wheeler near the front of the net. He's got the puck down the stop shot. Poke check. Crawford rebound is loose. They hack and whack. Crawford's got it. Whistle goes. For a moment there, I think there were about 8 pairs of skates in the blue paint.
Well, pretty simple. Take the puck to the side of the net and force somebody to come to you. Wheeler's there. He's got a face mask on. Took a stick against the Edmonton Oilers. Knocked out a couple of teeth, but he takes it hard to the net, and it's like a magnet there, partner. You put that blue puck, you put the puck in the blue paint, you got that that game of hockey twister in there for sure. Good strength there from Crawford.
The Jets have converted 5 of their last 19 on the power play. Is going to put the puck in play here real soon. There it is. Here's the draw. Seabrook with time to take a look. Scheifele. His pass picked up. Now a chance. Side of the breakaway. 2-on-0. He's got Toews. There's the pass. And the puck was rolling. Toews shanked it. Shaw gets it back to the centering pass. Too hot to handle for Toews. Jets the other way. Here comes Ladd. His drop pass read by Oduya. Hack loose. Here's Stafford. Didn't pull the trigger. Centered it. It hit the side of the net to Byfuglien. Through Stafford. Wheeler front of the net. Here's a reach shot. Tip. Good save. Crawford on a redirect. And the puck loose. Byfuglien shooting. Tip. Crawford stopped that and then it went in. The shot, I believe, in a hog stick, changed direction. Crawford got a piece, but it floated up and over. We're tied.
Well, after a questionable call on Nicholas Hjalmarsson, the Winnipeg Jets take advantage. The shot by Byfuglien, end over end, off the stick of Johnny Oduya, and then off the left pad, as you picked up, partner, of Corey Crawford, and it found its way to the back of the net. But you go back to the hit that Hjalmarsson put on Scheifele. Wrong call, but you give the Jets credit for cashing in on a power play. And that was after that strong penalty kill, Pat, so a change in momentum there. Good penalty kill. They cash in on the power play less than 90 seconds later.
So now the next few shifts looming large. The crowd alive here for the first time tonight here at the MTS Center. Stewart bouncing up the boards. Trouba got to it. Jacob Trouba, the young D-man, steps in. Shoots one. Crawford with the glove, denying the 21-year-old Trouba's bid.
Well, let's go back, Pat, to that penalty kill for the Blackhawks. A 2-on-0 the other way. Left part of your screen, Jonathan Toews is coming over. Saad is there, he throws it over, and Jonathan Toews just heals it. Wasn't even close. And then 25-30 seconds later, the Jets come back and put the puck in the back of the net and tie the game.
Centering pass, Slater couldn't pick it up. Desjardins shifted to center ice.
Goes from being a 2-on-0 and meet in a pretty good chance of 2-0 partner to 1-1.
Team in an area pass. Could not be reached by Desjardins, but Teravainen picked it up to the back. And he had a mishandle. Teuvo Teravainen centered it. The redirect, Kruger went off a leg. And Lee Stempniak cleared it. Teuvo Teravainen, without a point in his last 5 games, gets the line. A wrist shot right on. Soaked up by Pavlik.
Dustin Byfuglien looking to run Teuvo Teravainen into the 4th or 5th row like he did in the first period, and him and Byfuglien are having some words. And one guy yapping at Byfuglien, and that's Andrew Shaw, who could talk a stamp off an envelope, that's for sure.
Well, I guess, put he and Shaw in the same room.
That is true. Yeah, I guess nowadays with our younger fans, I don't know if they know what a stamp and an envelope are. You talk to cursor off the send button. That's probably the way. Penalty coming up here on Enstrom.
Yep. He took the feet from under Hossa, so the Blackhawks now a chance to get a little mo back on their side. The game is even. The Hawks to the power play when we come back.
Well, the injury report is sponsored by Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, and the Blackhawks certainly missing number 88, Patrick Kane. You see the record without him. And hoping Patrick Kane is feeling better, looking good on the ice. Got a chance to see him on the ice the other day at Johnny's. And there's the penalty by Toby Enstrom, and the Hawks with an opportunity here. Second power play of the second period.
Here's a long shot. Pavlik able to have a good view of that long one, and he hangs on.
Keep an eye on the Jets, Pat. The last power play that the Hawks had here in the second period, anytime their defensemen got it, their forwards were looking for that quick outlet. So looking for an odd man situation, a breakaway while shorthanded.
Part of the reason they lead the league in shorthanded goals. Here's Saad. Hossa. Keith. Touch pass missing Saad. Trouba head for throw. Oh, and it just missed him, or they might have had a 2-on-1 there. And now Keith takes over as the Jets change them all up. Back comes Toews. The Winnipeg native rings it around. Brandon Saad. Turned around to the play. Ladd cleared it. Toews right back in. Shaw dropped it to Keith. He finds Hossa. Shaw to the front. Hossa, Saad going back door. No lane there. Here's Toews for Saad. Myers in the way of the pass. Now Saad. Keith to Toews. He tees it up. A shot is blocked by Party. And Wheeler picked it up. Blake Wheeler for Andrew Ladd. They got a 3-on-2. Here comes Myers. He's got the puck for Wheeler right in. Short-handed open net. The Hawks changed while on a power play, and the Jets had the puck. It was a 3-on-2. Great passing. Winnipeg. Poor change. Chicago. The Jets have the lead.
Two-on-two here. No problem. But where it ends up happening is in this area here from our BMO Harris Bank telestrator. The Hawks go for the change. Tyler Myers makes the whole play, Pat. Whole play. A 2-on-2 that turns into a 3-on-2, and what a move by Blake Wheeler. Andrew Ladd with a terrific pass. Saad comes all the way over. A forward playing defense.
Good save Crawford here on a snapshot by Lowry. So the second good scoring chance for the Jets on the Hawks power play.
Well, you talk about patience by Blake Wheeler. lot of players in the league think that they can shoot and score on Corey Crawford. He's as good as any goaltender when it comes to attacking and being aggressive in a shooting position. Wheeler goes the other way. Crawford freezes, and he had nothing but a wide open net, and the Jets quickly with 2 goals here in the second period.
Here's Patrick Sharp. Versteeg to Sharp. Now the Jet penalty over. Both teams full strength. Richards trying to center it. Goes all the way through to Roosevelt. His shot. Oh, Sharp! I don't know if the puck ever found his blade, but Pavlik out of the net. And Sharp unable to tap it home. It was a hot pass. Not an easy chance, but it was. The scenario where the goalie was nowhere around. Here's Byfuglien cutting in. Centering. Picked off. Finally by the Hawks, and Teravainen got it out. Desjardins hacked it loose. Jets move back in offside.
And it's one of these times in a game is when you've lost the momentum. And here's that chance, right part of your screen. Patrick Sharp, just a step slow. Not able to get there and put the puck into the back of the net. But it's one of those times, Pat, where you don't have the momentum. The first thing you have to get accomplished is how do we stop it? Not how do we get it back. First, you got to stop it. And then what do you do in order to get it back on your side? And right now, the Jets have the momentum. You got to play 200 feet away from your goaltender and create and generate and get a little energy down here.
Here's Keith's shot blocked. Hossa able to get it back. Jonathan Toews. Chris Versteeg put it to Hossa. Kicks in the stick, gets the line. Wrist shot kicked away by Pavlik. Now Versteeg looks for Hjalmarsson, but it didn't connect.
Right idea.
Here comes Shaw barreling into the zone. Good stick by Myers with his big long reach. Taken back by Saad. A wrist shot is blocked. And will be retrieved by Seabrook. Antoine Vermette. Now here's a 2-on-1. Shaw's got it with Bickle. Shaw for Bickle. Broken up on recovery. Party. And a Party saved a goal for Winnipeg. Now Saad. His pass missed.
Great pass by Brent Seabrook to give the Hawks that 2-on-1 up to Andrew Shaw.
Sharp gets in. His long one, his glove looked like a knuckling shot. Pavlik holds it. The Winnipeg Jets, 2 special teams goals here in the second period. One a PP, one an SH.
Well, from our BMO Harris Bank telestrator, Brent Seabrook's in behind Corey Crawford. He's got the puck now. He's going to end up making the pass into Andrew Shaw here. But nobody realizes is that Brian Bickle's down here. The Winnipeg Jets are all mesmerized by this area of the ice, but watch this beautiful pass by Brent Seabrook. Right up, 2-on-1, flat-footed, and here's an opportunity and a half. Like to see Andrew Shaw just hammer that puck down, but then Byfuglien started sliding. And give the Jets credit for recognizing, I believe that was Adam Party that came back and denied Brian Bickle a great chance, but just a beautiful play there from Brent Seabrook. Missed opportunity with that odd man situation.
Vermette's face-off win is a shot by Oduya. Then Ladd. That help from Lowry, he's checked. Stewart around the boards, Froley. Started to say that a moment ago that Antoine Vermette missed a little time in this period, went off for some equipment repair. Here's a shot by Richards. Stopped by Pavlik, hugging the post. As you can see, Vermette back on the ice for Chicago here. As the Hawks dump it in, Sharp. In the last 7 games, 3 goals, 4 assists for Patrick Sharp. This puck knocked away, and out comes Lowry for the home side. Keith's long pass. Toews got it. He drives and shoots. Pavlik to see rebound. Hossa. Oh, and he tried to put it back in. Would have had a 6x4. coming. Versteeg gets to the corner. Chris Versteeg back to Roosevelt. Flip shot attempt deflected up off the glass. Toews. Now had his pass come back to him. Roosevelt had it knocked away. Here come the Jets again. Ladd. Might be an odd man rush. Ladd gets in. Scheifele to the net. Here's Wheeler. Stick handling. Centered it. Not getting a connection with Ladd. Here's Scheifele. Around for Wheeler. Hossa takes it away. And Desjardins was short of center when he cleared it, icing Chicago here.
Go back to the chance, Pat, for Jonathan Toews. Watch the confusion in the middle of the ice. This is Tyler Myers. Watch him. He's pointing at Jacob Trouba to say, come on, get over on this side of the ice. Instead of him staying there, the pass goes up, and then here comes Toews on a breakaway. I mean, instead of directing traffic, just stay there. Don't worry. If Trouba's over there, just let him stay there. And then Toews with a chance, and then unfortunately right after that, Marian Hossa had the puck. He did the right thing. Pavlik was down and out. And he just lost the puck going from his forehand to his backhand and shot it right in the corner. And again, a team that is fragile offensively, those are the type of things that happen. You just stick handle yourself in the submission. You try too much. And big time save though from Pavlik. You got to tip your helmet to him on that save there. But miscommunication in the middle of the ice, and the Hawks aren't able to make them pay.
Buckland's wrister here missing. Enstrom. Now Buckland pinching to keep it in. Picked up by Desjardins. And it's cleared to center. What do you talk about the fragility of the Hawks offense? It really, you just showed us the play where Hossa might have had a 6x4. Earlier in the period, it was a tough chance, but Patrick Sharp could have had a 6x4, and neither one of those gets converted. Here comes Perreault, gaining the line. Matthew Perreault pulled up. Now a centering pass. Thorburn, his shot is smothered. And Teravainen failed to get it out.
Good play by Teravainen, to save that chance from Thorburn. Timonen and Seabrook out here. This is only Timonen's third shift of the period.
Desjardins. Now a check by Trouba. Shaw got to it. Andrew Shaw's pass deflected. Desjardins a wrist shot. And that floats wide. And the Jets able to clear it. Hjalmarsson. His long pass received by Bickell, putting it deep. Ladd cleared the zone.
Got some tired defensemen on the ice right now for Winnipeg.
But Frolik's going to get to the other end. And the Hawks deep pairing here, Hjalmarsson and Oduya. Here's Ladd. Centered it, Frolik. And a save, that might have been his own man, Lowry, in front of the net, trying to provide a screen.
Great pickup, partner. That's exactly what happened. What a play there from Andrew Ladd.
Learn to say, though, this Hawks deep pair, Hjalmarsson, Oduya, the other night in a 5-2 loss. These two were each +2. Well, them being reunited in the last little bit by Coach Q has been beneficial to their play. Here's a long shot. Wheeler. Save! Crawford! He had to fully outstretch to his left to snare that one. And he did. So Corey Crawford has faced 18 shots up till now. There's a good chance for a good sniper Wheeler. Crawford keeps his team within one.
Well, this Mercedes moment was written and is for my great Hall of Fame partner, Sparties. They're going to the Final Four. They take out the Louisville Cardinals.
And there is a lot of Izzo love up here in this booth tonight. I think this is his greatest coaching job ever.
Well, go back to that chance, Pat, for Jonathan Toews, and there you see, Scheifele had the pressure on Hossa, but a missed opportunity and a half there from 81.
Now Myers. Put it in behind Wheeler. Stafford to Wheeler. Drew Stafford with a wraparound. Crawford at the post. 5 minutes remaining in the second period. Also been credited with 14 shots on goal in the game. 19 for the Jets. And this will get far enough for icing Chicago. Well, of course, this franchise used to be in Atlanta. The Atlanta/Winnipeg Jets. They've been around 14 years. They've only been qualified for the playoffs one time. And in that playoff, they never won a game. I think that was against the Rangers several years back. But since this is their 4th year in Winnipeg, they've never been in the postseason since the move here. But the city thrilled with the opportunity to maybe get into the second season. And I'll tell you what, if the goaltending stays the way it has been of late for the Jets, they're going to look at a chance for Bickle. Shot it wide with a rolling puck. But this could be a formidable opponent. For as big as they are, it's almost incredible how fast they play. Because it's a physical team too, but you talk about a speed game, they can stay with you.
Without a doubt. I mean, you play Winnipeg, St. Louis, LA. Contrary to what a lot of people might think about the LA Kings, you play a series against one of those 3 teams, it's going to feel like 9 games, partner.
Yeah.
That's fact.
Yes.
That's fact.
For sure.
If you can get lucky and get rid of them, in 4 or 5 games, obviously, but the longer it goes, the longer the toll will take, not necessarily just in that series, but it's going to take its toll. And I believe what happened last year is that St. Louis series took a lot out of the Hawks early in the LA series, even though they were able to find and gut their way back into that series and eventually lose in overtime. They got size, they got some heaviness, and as you mentioned, they can play quick.
Oduya shot. Oh, and the redirect from Sharp didn't miss by much. Seabrook. Now Sharp works the corner. Quite a battle here with Ian Flustein. Oduya flipped the front tip. They score. What a redirect. Brad Richards out in front of the net. A terrific tip up high over Pavlik, and the Hawks have drawn even.
Well, you talked about the battle from Patrick Sharp and Jiri Tlusty, and from our Honda goal replay, the shot from Johnny Oduya, not that hard, but very effective. Antoine Vermette gets the puck back to the point. Richards finds it and redirects it on the backhand, and it goes up and over Andre Pavlik. And that is a huge goal for the Hawks. And good to see Antoine Vermette get on the scoreboard there, Pat. Played the wing position the other night against Columbus for the second and third period. I thought was very effective with Jonathan Toews and Marian Hossa. And here he's on a line with Richards and Sharp. And the Hawks tie this game up at 2.
Well, Richards' 12th goal of the year from Oduya and Vermette, and the game is even. Perreault gains the line. Good back pressure from Teravainen. Teravainen looking toward Desjardins, tipped it into the corner for Kruger. Well, the Jets get the puck. Perreault trying to come out. Teravainen with some good back pressure again. Now Johnson and Buffalo. Andrew Desjardins ahead for Hossa. Oh, his touch pass. So he had Toews streaking up the right side, but the pass never got there. Toby Enstrom for Tyler Myers, who's going to step in. Down he goes. Penalty Chicago. Stafford threw it deep. Oduya, I thought he had the puck. That play remains alive. Now the whistle goes. And the Jets to the power play late in the second.
Well, you see the skill level of Tyler Myers through the middle of the ice. The missed opportunity for Hossa to Taves, Pat, and there you see the reach in by Marian Hossa. Penalty called. And 2's our Wild here in a second. 2 minutes go up. Game's tied at 2 in the second, and 2:20 left to go here in the middle frame.
Well, the Jets scored on their first power play chance tonight. And now Perreault and Kruger get ready. Face off Winnipeg. And a good stick there by Kruger. Knocked it away from Myers. Perreault stripped of it. And took a hit by Kruger, from Kruger. And, well, being hit, he's able to clear the zone. Trouba lost it. Taves. With the Hawks near the end of a shift for some guys, had to change him up. Back comes Myers.
There's going to be a guy in Winnipeg that's going to cough it up, Pat. It's going to be Jake Trouba. I mean, he's really fought the puck a lot here tonight. So if he gets the puck, you want to try to crush him. Sometimes guys have those type of nights, and it seems like it's been a battle for him.
A takeaway for Stieg, but he's checked, failed to get it out. Scheifele on this side. Goes back to Byfuglien. Here it comes. Tip. Oh, the redirect. Wheeler just missed. Now Stafford. Dropped it back. Byfuglien. Drew Stafford goes down low. Ladd. Mark Scheifele. Now to Stafford. Here's Byfuglien's long one. Goal post. Oh, he hit the inside of the near post. Dustin Byfuglien. And a broken stick keeps that play alive for the Jets. Here's Wheeler walking in. Shooting. Good block, Seabrook. Rebound Ladd to Byfuglien. Hangs on. Now Scheifele centered it. Stafford shot it. Save. Crawford. It's loose. And Ladd dropped it to Stafford. Ladd. Gonna spin it back to Byfuglien. He unloads. Score! Dustin Byfuglien. Second power play goal of the game. The Jets are in front.
Well, with Marian Hossa in the penalty box, Pat, you lose one of your top 4 penalty killers. Joel Quenneville goes to Kris Versteeg, and the Winnipeg Jets move the puck around. Byfuglien has a lane. The screen in front of the net by Blake Wheeler. A little bit of taunting going on by Wheeler on Johnny Oduya. And the Winnipeg Jets with their third specialty team goal of the period. 2 on the power play, 1 shorthanded. And it's a 3-2 game.
Fires it around the boards. Vermette to Richards. Enstrom for Winnipeg. And the period winds down and out. So the Winnipeg Jets, a 3-goal period to grab the lead through 40 minutes. Winnipeg in the second period at 15. Shots on goal, the Hawks had 8. It's 21-15 for the home side. 2 goals for Byfuglien, 1 for Blake Wheeler in the second. The Chicago strike from Richards on a tip right there. And it's 3-2 Jets. 4 of the 5 goals have been special teams goals in this game to this point. Hawks down 1 entering the third. Assistant coach Mike Kitchen, nice enough to have a headset on for us. Kitchen, what were kind of the bullet points that the coaching staff talked about trying to get ready for the third period here?
Well, the biggest thing, like you started off with, is that the goals are all up of the specialty teams, and we got to tighten up on the penalty killing. And we had on both goals we had a chance to clear at 200 feet. And we're trying to pass it in our own zone, so that's a turnover, and then they keep some zone time, and then our guys get tired out on the ice, And then on the shorthanded goal, you just can't have that when you have the power play. I mean, it just takes the momentum right away from us.
Hey, Kitch, the numbers are what they are. The team is struggling offensively. You've had some chances, though. So from the coaching staff and the talk amongst the players, is it as easy as, you know what, anytime there's a lane, just fire it to the net and hope good things happen, like on the Richards redirect goal?
Well, that was exactly what we walked out of the dressing room coming out into this to start the period. Said the same thing. Punt wall, pucks to the net there. I mean, in even bad angles, look to pass off the goalie, because anything can happen in this situation. I mean, they're a pressure team, and they want to play on offense, and they're coming at you all the time. If we drag it back, they reset their forecheck. This way, if we get a turnover, we had a couple of long passes up there, and we get those outnumbered attacks and breakaways, so we just got to make sure we cash in on those.
All right, Kitch, appreciate a couple minutes. Good luck here in the third.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kitch.
So a 3-2 Jet lead in the first 4 games of this regular season series. The Blackhawks have only managed 2 points out of a possible 8 against Winnipeg. So we get underway now here in the third. Taves checked by Scheifele. Myers to Enstrom. And it'll be dumped into Chicago ice. Roosevelt brings it around for Met. Playing wing again here. Richards able to clear the zone. Scheifele lost it, but it's carried on Ladd. Andrew Ladd, 2 assists in the game. A short side shot stopped by Crawford. Rebound bouncing loose right through the crease to Vermette. And now Richards moved it out to Sharp. A chip and chase on Stewart. Looking to center, but hit the side of the net. And Jacob Trouba, that helped to get it out of there. Richards sending it back in. Trouba, his pass, nearly picked off, winds up at center. And now here comes Clousty with a rich shot. Good block, Chalmerson. Byfuglien. Pass came right back to him. He's going to get the line here. Byfuglien looking for a hat trick. Not this time, says Corey Crawford.
Hey, Blackhawk fans, want to be tonight's Budig Lunch Meats featured fan of the game? Tweet us a family-themed pic with the hashtag HawkFan photo, and you might be featured on air. Budig Lunch Meats make more than a sandwich. Hello to the Donovan family and little JR. All right. Looks like a...
Was that SAMMICH in your copy there?
Just reading what it says, Mr. Burgundy.
Yeah, just reading. All right, back goes Party. Adam Party moved it at Perreault, gets the line, but lost the puck. And Crawford, boy. An anticipatory whistle from the referee that time, as Brad Meyer, I believe, assumed it was going to be covered.
Exactly, and then he pointed at himself here, anticipating Corey Crawford able to get it, and certainly in an adventure. It's like almost one of those, Pat, in baseball season. What, 1 week from 1 week from tonight, actually. Almost like the intentional walk. Well, you just assume he's going to throw it over the plate, and they're going to catch her, outside, and next thing you know, he puts one right over the plate and just grooves it. And in that situation, the linesman or the referee gets a little bit too excited there and just took it for granted that it was a formality, and Hawks catch a break.
Wheeler won a draw. Long shot. Myers missed. Enstrom goes down low. Now a stop attempt. Crawford made 2 saves on Wheeler's bids. And Hosa's clearing attempt did get out, but the Jets go back, tag up, so we keep the play alive. Taves, 13 points in 13 career games against his hometown team, Winnipeg. Now Hosa battling to the middle. Hossa now had a shot blocked. As Myers able to stay right with him, and it's out of play.
Well, it's refund season at H&R Block. And in addition to helping you get your billions back, H&R Block is helping you get to springtime Blackhawks hockey at the United Center. Visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com to learn how you can win tickets to a Chicago Blackhawks home game, courtesy of H&R Block.
So Coach Q juggling things up here. Brandon Saad between Shaw and Bickle for this shift. The Lowry line for Winnipeg. Here's the draw. Bickle centered it. Oh, Saad hacked it just wide. Here's Shaw. And Lowry sends the Jets away. Frolik gets the line. Hjalmarsson got him. Lowry works down low. Trouba's long shot blocked by Bickle, whose stick shattered on the block.
Good job of getting that shooting lane.
Now Frolik had it taken away. Seabrook goes rink wide. Vermette able to send it ahead. Into the corner it goes, but finally the Jets. Enstrom hit hard by Vermette, who won the puck, but his pass didn't connect. Slutsky the other way. Myers going to join him. He's got it. But too much traffic at the blue line for Tyler Myers. Now a long feed finding Vermette. Sharp's going to join him. Vermette dropped it. Here's Tiemann, and a shot blocked out in front of the goal. And now the Jets going to be Hawks penalty coming up. Well, that's an offside play. The whistle goes, and the Winnipeg Jets, who have 2 power play goals in the game, are going to get another chance here.
That's going to be on Brad Richards. Behind the play, and Joe Quenneville looks on. There's the hook. Right around Lee Stempniak, and we talk about a huge section of this game. It's right here and right now.
Drew Stafford. Now Byfuglien goes the other way. Enstrom to Byfuglien, one-timer. Save! Crawford. Oh, he flashed the right pad at the final moment. Held in Byfuglien. Enstrom shooting. And he missed the net. Rebound came all the way out to center. Here's Scheifele. His pass picked off Hossa. Oh, what a play, Scheifele. That could have been a Hossa shorthanded breakaway. And Scheifele from a prone position, able to sweep it away. Now they get in Stafford. Wheeler rings it around. That hit the official, so Oduya fires at the length.
What a good play there from Johnny Oduya to be able to find that puck in the skates of the official.
The Winnipeg power play. Frolik to Perreault. Now it goes out to Trouba. Trouba to the middle. They'll put it on the stick of Perreault. Then Trouba's one-timer. Save! Crawford through a Frolik screen. Rebound to the corner. Now Matthew Perreault. Back to Trouba. Myers a touch pass, quick shot, and Slutsky couldn't get it through. Picked up by Kruger. Able to clear to center. Here's Saad, but Trouba got to him right away. Hawks trying to change. A lead finding Perreault, but the Hawks get off the bench quickly. And Hossa will send it the other way. Well, a couple of good saves by Crawford, but the Hawks managed to complete a PK and remain within 1. Now a fight in behind. It's Slater dropping to Enstrom. Jim Slater centered it, just missing the stick of Stempniak. Byfuglien tries along with that, missed. Going all the way out. And now Benjamin's lost his stick. Here's Sharp. He's got a breakaway right in. He scores! What a break for Patrick Sharp and the Hawks. Tobias Enstrom got tangled with the official and lost his stick. It gave Sharp a breakaway, and we're tied. And the goal at 13:33 of the third. It ties it 3-3.
Well, Toby Enstrom loses his stick by linesman Don Henderson, and he grabs that puck and tries to advance it back right into Patrick Sharp. And Patrick Sharp goes short side, glove side, and he needed a break. You got a huge penalty kill, and Patrick Sharp ties this game up.
Fourth goal in the last 8 games for Sharp. Here comes Slater now for the Jets. Tlusty. Now it's Seabrook going the other way. It's Bickle trying to get away from Trouba. They both hit the deck. Would have been offside if Shaw touched it, so he let it go, then changes. Slater dumped it in. Stempniak. Taken back by Hjalmarsson. Havlik put it to the boards. Dug out Hossa, fighting to the middle, his pass, deflecting, and then Oduya. Funny hop out in front. Oh, it just missed for Sting, went right through the paint. And the Jets able to clear it. Now Wheeler. And it taken away. Oduya settles things down. Hjalmarsson gave it back to his D partner. Enstrom turned it over. Here's Teravainen. His wrist shot off a skate to keep. Now Teravainen. Kruger got checked, but he held the puck back to Teravainen. Bouchard in front of the net. Here's Teravainen trying to get the puck there, but it hit a leg. Teravainen again. Spins it back to Keith. He finds Teravainen, a quick shot. Good save. Pavlik from post to post. As the Hawks with great zone time from the fourth line. And Teravainen got a decent bid.
Yeah, this line's had a couple of those type of shifts.
Roosevelt feathers it in. Taken by Byfuglien. The head for Stafford. Now here comes Byfuglien into the zone. He lost the handle. Well, the Jets will dump this one in. Ladd stealing, centering, the pass blocked. And finally the Hawks get it back, and that shot into the Chicago bench for a whistle. 9 minutes gone by here in the third period. And Patrick Sharp capitalizing on a fortunate break against a stickless player, walked in on Pavlik and ties it with his 14th.
Well, we're down to single digits, partner. Time to look at our upcoming schedule. Not a lot of hockey left in the regular season. The LA Kings are enjoying a night off in the greatest city in the world while they get ready to take on the Hawks tomorrow night at the United Center. Been on a real good road trip, by the way. They won 3 of 4 games. Lost to Minnesota yesterday. But then the Canucks will be in town on Thursday, and then the Hawks will head to Buffalo to take on the Sabres next Friday.
All right, now a board battle. The Jets, Lowry snapped it off. Blocker save, Crawford. And Lowry put it in deep. There's Frolik. Myers. Had it kick loose to center. Frolik dropped it. Ladd the shot, deflecting up high. Hjalmarsson able to get it out. Lowry quickly back in for the home team. Stripped of it. Hossa able to shield that beautifully in some traffic, and the Hawks have control. A change on the move as Hjalmarsson now starts ahead. Mikko bounced it forward. Now Keith. Hit hard as he cleared it. Perreault delivered the blow. And now he leads it in center. Here comes Haluschuk. His wrist shot blockered away by Crawford. Throws the ball to Karam. And then Shaw hacked at it. It's held in by the Jets. It's going to be a hand pass. Perreault touches it, and that happens. So the whistle goes. They were unhappy. They thought Rosenthal maybe had touched it. The officials saw it otherwise. So we remain tied halfway through period three in Manitoba.
Let me go back to that play, Pat, just right before the TV timeout. Matt Haluschuk's going to take this puck, bat it with his hand, right? Now, Matthew Perreault knows if he touches it right away, the whistle should go. Now, watch what ends up happening. You got to keep rolling it so we can see it, guys. Stop it right there. Look at the skate of Brandon Saad. Roll it. He makes contact, kicks the puck. Play should continue there. That's why Perreault was so upset. And the official was adamant that it was a hand pass, but we went to our TV timeout, and play continues here in the third.
Now Teravainen to O'Duyu shot. Good save, Pavlik in traffic. That was a Kruger screen, and Pavlik able to kick out the left leg. Now Teravainen, a long feed. They might get a chance. Richard driving and shooting. And a save by Pavlik. Unfortunately for Richards, he was almost in a standstill when the puck found him, so not a lot of momentum, and had to fire it maybe further out than he would have liked.
Nice play by Teuvo Teravainen. He's had an effective third period, and yeah, Big Buff had the running start there, and as you mentioned, Pat, Brad Richards had to get that momentum back up, and during that last replay, Brad Richards was actually looking up at the Jumbotron, Pat, going to school, and maybe seeing for something down the road. So a heads-up play there by the elder skatesman up front for the Hawks.
Well, they work in the corner. Who's going to win the puck? Hawks do. Hjalmarsson, big save by Pavlik after a great work ethic by Richards in the corner. Here's Keith down low offensively. A touch pass for Matt. Puck was jumping on him, and the Jets converge. So Wheeler comes away. Blake Wheeler going wide. Rolling up. And shooting. Crawford stopped it. Rebound hacked to the boards and Sharp able to clear it the other way. Drew Stafford threw it into the corner. O'Duyu hit pretty hard there by Lowry. The puck cleared out. Now Taves sends O'Duyu up the ice. A feed just missing Hossa. Kind of a tweener between stick and skates, and icing Chicago.
Well, fans, don't forget to check out the Blackhawks blog at WGNTV.com. The blog is brought to you by Jeff Vukovich, your local nationwide insurance agent serving the area for 36 years. To join the nation, contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. And remember, yes, Nationwide is on your side.
Lowry and Taves for this draw. Not anymore. Lowry pitched. So Frolik able to win it. Enstrom lines it around. Adam Lowry had it taken away. Versteeg cleared to center.
Not seen Kimmo Timonen hardly at all here in the third period. Hawks really playing with 5 D-man right now.
Good. All right, here's Bickle pulling up, looking at center. Oh, just out of the reach of Saad, who was driving up the middle. And now Perreault takes over for the Jets. Saad trying to battle in front. Finally, it escaped him, and Thorburn got it out. Here's Halachuk's pass, deflecting. Byfuglien's up there. Good poke check, Shaw. And Bickell slows it down. Keith waiting for all the changing to be completed. And it's dumped into Winnipeg ice. Teravainen checked on the boards. Then Byfuglien with a scooper. Seabrook missed Teravainen, going to go all the way down, icing Chicago.
You have to think that Joel Quenneville certainly, thinking ahead tomorrow, Pat, with Kimmo Timonen not playing a whole heck of a lot since the first period, back-to-back games, well documented, missing a lot of hockey over the course of the last 10 months. And a chance of giving a guy like Kimmo Timonen an opportunity to breathe a little bit in the game tomorrow night, maybe make a lineup change on the back end.
Since he came to Chicago, and there's been only one set of back-to-back games since he's been a Hawk, and he played in both of them against the Islanders and Rangers. Here's a shot. Crawford able to get in the way. And Desjardins going to send it back the other way.
We need everybody tomorrow night. You got to worry about these 2 points here, but you need all.
Oh, a turnover, Richards! And the shot might have been blocked by Stewart. The backhander went up too high after a terrible Winnipeg giveaway. Now Trouba. Oh, he nearly turned it over trying to go up the middle. But the Jets get out. Wheeler with Scheifele to the net. And he was in early, Mark Scheifele. Offside is called. Well, the game tied at 3 in what could have been a disaster for the Jets. The puck finding Richards, and his backhander went up over the crossbar.
Well, the 2015 Chicago Blackhawks custom Camaro convertible can be yours. It's one of a kind. You can't win if you don't enter. So register today at ChevyDrivesChicago.com. Take your best shot and drive with Kane and Taves.
And Olczyk.
And yours truly.
Drive.
Boy, what a chance for Brad Richards. Got a chance to look at that a couple of times, Pat, as you perfectly picked up, deflected by Mark Stewart.
So a huge play from the veteran D-man Stewart to keep the game tied. Here's Myers, Scheifele, and Stafford will dump it. Versteeg unable to pick it up. Back goes Enstrom. 5 minutes remaining in the third period in a 3-3 battle. Now Enstrom for Winnipeg. Lowry stopped by Bickell and oh, a dumping attempt came up, hit Shaw right in the yap. Andrew Ladd wanted to lift it in there. It came up and hit the head of Shaw. Here's Ladd, a shot right on. Save Crawford. Ladd got it back. Stewart whipped. Picked up by Frolik. Then Trouba to Stewart. Here's Rister. Not getting through. Seabrook. Cleared it ahead. Now it's gloved down by Saad. Got Bickell with him. Saad, the shot. And that might have been blocked. I think Trouba got a stick on that. And it went out of play.
Oh, what a terrific play by Brent Seabrook. Blocks the shot, fronting him in front of his own goaltender, Corey Crawford, and then Brandon Saad gets the opportunity, and as you mentioned, Pat, the stick of Jacob Trouba, who's had a rough evening tonight. It's been an adventure when he's had the puck, but this is a good defensive play. That's how you draw it up when you're teaching young defensemen. Lead with your stick. Don't allow that pass to get to the other side. That's your main job as a defenseman. 2-on-1. You cannot allow that puck to get backdoor. Took it away. Had some help coming on the back check. Right idea from Saad. Face off to the left of Pavlik.
Which involves Brad Richards, who didn't have a point in his last 4 games before tonight, but a big goal in the second period for Richards to break that drought. We just had a spectacular bit a moment ago off a Winnipeg turnover in his last shift. Here come the Jets. Stempniak going wide. Swept away by Roosevelt. Held in Buckland. Dustin Buckland. Centered it, and Tlusty. Going to be a penalty, Roosevelt. He did well to prevent what could have been a great scoring chance for Tlusty, but when the Winnipeg winger went down, and the Hawks will be short.
What a play by Dustin Buckland, Pat, from our BMO Harris Bank telestrator. Brad Richards is going to come out, but watch the slight hesitation by Buckland when he gets his puck. Looks like he's going to fake it, and he just holds on to it. Brad Richards goes for a flyby, and that creates and generates that chance. And now a power play for the home team. But just that slight hesitation by Big Buff gave him that opportunity to get the puck in front.
But Kruger won a draw, so the Jets have to regroup. 2 power play conversions tonight for Winnipeg. And now a chance for them late in the third. Stafford leads them in. Bruce Stafford snapped it off into the glove of Corey Crawford.
I mean, the Jets on the last power play, and I mean, at least to this point, Pat, and I mean, it's in its early stages, but early in this game, they took the puck down low. Remember the one-man scramble where we had 8 or 9 people in the crease there, where they went to the jam play, and they haven't gone to that. And what that does is that draws the defenders down, the penalty killers back towards their goaltender. But as of late, the Hawks have been able to do a good job of keeping them to the outside.
This face-off to Oduya's got Hossa with him. Here they come. Might be 2-on-1. Oduya tees it up. Fired it wide. And now it's going to be an odd man the other way for Winnipeg. Wheeler getting in. Shooting. Right the outside of the goalpost, I believe. Seabrook looking clear. He got it out.
I don't believe Ladd realized, Pat, that it was a 2-on-1. So instead of continuing on with that puck and getting onside, he made the pass to Wheeler. So the 2-on-1 became a 1-on-1. And the Hawks caught a break there after a great chance there for Johnny Oduya.
Now it's dumped in. Myers jammed the loose. Came right to Crawford. He's able to hug the post. And Kruger got rid of it. 45 for the Jets power play. Perreault gets the line. Centered it. Oh, it jumped off the blade of Myers. And battled loose by Taves to clear. Tlusty back in. Centering. Perreault. Taken away side. And the Hawks able to get it back the other way. So now Myers starts him back. Trouba steps into the zone. Now the Hawks penalty over. Both teams full strength.
Trouba's got no stick. Just got it.
And Keith shot it back the other way, but is going to go on net, so no icing for the Hawks. And we're down to 90 seconds remaining in regulation. Thorburn dumped it. Oduya hit by Stempniak. Lowry got to it. Chipped away from him. Thorburn leaves it in the corner. Stempniak. It escaped him to Oduya. Now the final minute of the third period. Seabrook, long feed, Hossa. Verstiga bouncing puck, it got back to him, turns deep, centered it, it came all the way back to Hjalmarsson. Hossa looks to the corner and Taves. Back to Hjalmarsson. He's going to try a long shot. Did they score? Tipped down in front, I believe. Jonathan Taves, the hometown kid, with half a minute left, has put his team in front.
Pavlik was looking to the glove side. The puck ended up on the stick side. The hard shot from Nicholas Hjalmarsson from our Honda goal replay. Toews works himself back to the front and redirects that puck off the backhand of his stick. And the Hawks, with under 31 seconds remaining, take the lead at 4-3.
So Jonathan Toews, you see, with his 26th of the year, or 25th, sorry, and the Blackhawks have jumped back in front. And incredibly, if this score holds, any of these teams will have played 5 times, and the home team will have never won a game. But still half a minute for the Jets to work with.
Well, how often do we talk about it, Pat? Give and go. Move the puck, move yourself. Here's Jonathan Toews. So after he moves this puck out, watch where he goes. He goes to this area of the ice. He doesn't stay to the outside. You want to score, you got to get inside the dots. And where does he go? He goes inside, redirects it. No chance for Pavlik.
All right, Pavlik is out near the goal line. As soon as the Jets, or the blue line, I should say, as soon as the Jets get possession and get it in, he'll go off. But it doesn't happen yet. Now a turnover! And a goal saved by Myers with what could have been an empty netter. So Pavlik still in the game. We're down to 18.
What a battle here by Kruger.
Steal Toews. He shoots. Pavlik stopped it. Great work by Kruger in the corner. And now the Jets, a long pass read by Hossa with a takeaway. He's going to try to eat it on the boards. Clock winds down. Hawks win. The Chicago Blackhawks have knocked off the Winnipeg Jets in come-from-behind style in the third period. And who got the GWG? The Winnipeg boy, the Hawks captain, who now has 9 goals in his last 16 games.
Well, what a great effort there at the end of the game from Marcus Kruger to kill off a good 10 or 12 seconds along the boards. But the game-winning goal, as you mentioned, Pat, by Jonathan Toews, started to play in the corner. Blackhawk defenseman much more active here in this third period, and the Hawks got one out here in regulation against the Winnipeg Jets.
So the Hawks moving 6 points ahead of Winnipeg and fall over Minnesota back into third place in the Central Division in the constantly changing standings. It's a fluid situation. Hawks 4, Jets 3 tonight.